I see. I got a message where it says CDMI PSS is live.
Oh, perfect.
Keep it with PSS.
Yay!
Nice.
So, half a day to row.
Good morning.
And welcome to
Keeping Up with PSS. So, hey, good morning. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Dr. Camacho. I'm the Commissioner of Education here at great, wonderful PSS, and where students are first and educators are always. It's a great morning for us. The sun is shining really bright out there. Beautiful weather. See a really nice view of our ocean from our perspective here. But just because we're up in a perspective, we want to make sure we share the great, wonderful things that are going on across PSS. And today's topic is, what is PSS up to this summer? And this morning, we're just fortunate and honored to have two guests from across PSS that I'd like to introduce to you at this point. Mr. Vinny Orsini from the Office of Curriculum and Instruction.
Hey, half a day commissioner, thanks for having me on the show. We have a lot of great things going on in our schools throughout the entire CNMI. I'd like to share some of these with you.
Okay.
Let
me introduce Kevin De Torres here
Okay.
too, and then you can have the mic here. But introducing Kevin De Torres here. Thank you for joining us from the Instructional Technology and Distance Learning.
Thank you for having me, Commissioner. Thanks for joining us in our first show. We'll get back to you, Vinny. But before that, I'd like to, we're going to go over the things happening in our online learning spaces and some opportunities for both our students and educators a little down the line before summer ends.
Yeah, but then before you go into those activities, I just want to say that I want to let our community know this is an inaugural thing for us, right? We're just starting. This is our first ever live show, and we intend to do this every month. And if things go well, we'll probably do it twice a month even to that point. But in starting off for today with today's, what is PSS up to this summer, one of the things that we've done, and that's because it's a result of my arrival here in January and going through the listening tour that I wanted to pursue upon arrival, and then going to the different campuses, visiting and understanding the environment, establishing networks and partnerships out in the community, and really kind of talking to our stakeholders and kind of getting a lot of good sense of what the environment is like here at PSS. The next objective to that was that by the time summer came along, we were to have a strategic planning institute. And so we've done that. We've done the listening tour. And last week we had a great, very productive session with all of our vice principals, our principals, administrators from central office, convening for 4 days, really conducting a strategic planning institute. And with that, we had, a facilitator come in from off island and really kind of guided the. So I really want to thank our community leadership, or PSS leadership here for providing the framework of what the strategic planning was going to be like when we actually executed it last week, and then for the facilitator to come on board and really just kind of drive it. And so for 4 days, like on the first day, we had two panels, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. In the first panel in the morning, we had folks from the industry, folks from the community, from the Department of Labor, from the Department of Commerce, right? And from industry. We had business partners that came in to speak on the panel on what they could imagine PSS graduate could be, what they would like for the PSS graduate to come armed with when they enter their world, right? And that's after high school. And so that was great. We even had a student speaker, right? The speaker of the youth congress. Mr. Sablan got up there and gave his own testimony about his own experience going through the PSS system, right? Like through the school district from grade level, elementary, middle school, and then now he's in high school. So he gave some very, very good perspective on that. I believe in elevating the students' voices, elevating the teachers' voices, and all the stakeholders to really kind of reimagine perhaps where we could take PSS and advance it to the next level. And that's kind of like the intent behind the strategic plan. The afternoon session was full of education. We have folks from NMTech, NMC, again, the community, industry, Chamber of Commerce, kind of gave some perspectives and really kind of informed us as a PSS community what they are also seeing outside of that. And then we reflected on data. We looked at the past 6 years and where we've been and how we've been improving as a school district in our systems, how students have been improving in their own achievement in student learning, and then we reflected on even my listening tour, the notes that I've taken through the listening tour, and some other data that we looked at. But more importantly, then that shaped what could be the next 3 days. What other things that we wanted to accomplish over the agenda there for the next 3 days, and it really was very beneficial that we did that. And then we did that. Following day, we did a SWOT analysis. Looked at our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then looked at the priorities that we have. We have 6 priorities in our PSS. Number one being student success, and we determined that is still obviously the number one priority, and all the other priorities have become now the pillars that holds up the number one priority into all of student success. Now, when we look at student success, we're reimagining the pipeline from K through 12, and imagining the journey of our students and what really are those gaps that causes them to be challenged when they move from one grade level to the next, and then from elementary to middle school. And then when they're in middle school, we want them to be able to start exploring who they want to be and what they want to be after high school. Once we understand that, and we really do a good job in understanding that, when they get into high school, we would have determined 3 pathways, right? And each of those pathways is where they would be guided through so that they can achieve what it is that they want to be after high school.
Wow,
That's called the portrait of a graduate. What is this graduate going to look like, right? That our industry, our community, the economy, the CNMI wants to get out of our PSS product, right? And that graduate would then be successful. That's how we're really imagining that. So there's a portrait of a graduate and a portrait of a learner, and this is all about college and career readiness initiative. And it's going to be competency based. So we want to make sure that they're armed with the skill sets and the competencies to be successful. But it's also going to be place based, to where they then understand along their path through journey. I mean, their journey in PSS is understanding who they are, how they can identify as people from this commonwealth. When you merge the two, a competent and a person who identifies, I think they can be really good leaders, they could be really good problem solvers, and they could be really good designers of where the Commonwealth would go. And that's what we want to get out of our system, right?
Yeah.
Like the students that we produce and the graduates that we get out of there, out into the community, should have been going through this journey, and we would have guided them to be those leaders, problem solvers, and designers of the future. And that's just the way it should be, right?
Amazing.
And so when you take that and you imagine that, and understand where we want to go in the next 5 years, it becomes the launching pad for another 5 years. So imagining the direction and the trajectory of our school district, I think, is very important. And when you look at it from a strategic standpoint, that's why we call it a strategic planning institute. It becomes unison in the way people think, the mindset, the culture that changes, and it gets us to that level of really quality type of education that our Constitution calls for in Article 50 of the CNMI Constitution. This thing called public education, and it is a public good that should be delivered out to every citizen and resident of this Commonwealth of all those individuals who call this place home. So that's when I want to introduce that and kind of give our audience out there where I, as a commissioner, kind of want to take our school district into the next level.
It's a lot of work we did last week.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
a lot of work. You were there. I mean, it was just, and Vinny, let's go to you and see what's going on now. And
Whoa, well, I really did enjoy hearing about the vision, and I think this is a fantastic time to be a student in our public school system. I think there's a lot of great things forward. We do believe, too, that learning never stops. And so we have, even though it's summer, we have a lot of great summer activities that are going on in all 3 islands and in about every school. So if you don't mind, let's start with kids who, at the youngest age levels. We have this thing called the Stepping Stones program, and this is for students who have never been in a kindergarten or a Head Start before, and it prioritizes them to familiarize themselves, orient themselves with maybe their future school or even their future teacher in kindergarten. And we've seen a lot of great success with the transitions, like you mentioned, Commissioner, even as early as pre-K to kindergarten. In the elementary level, we have two major programs going on this summer in every elementary school. We have the credit recovery program, which is an opportunity for any student who may have been behind in math or reading or any subject to be able to get that credit above and receive a grade for it. And we have amazing teachers who are ready to assist and help. But we also have a lot of enrichment programs too.
Well, on the credit makeup
Yes.
program, do we have a lot of students right now that are taking that,
We do.
taking on that opportunity?
Right, we have hundreds of students throughout
Hundreds
the
of
system.
students.
Yes, and some of it is also related to the other program that we're also launching, which is the enrichment program. So the enrichment program is an opportunity for students to learn a lot more about a particular field of interest.
Nice.
And so we're seeing in the summer school program, the credit recovery, it's not just boring academics. There's a lot of fun
Academics
activities
is never
too.
boring.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it really is a way for a lot of project-based learning to take place, and the enrichment programs you are
Wait,
going to.
project-based, so there's a lot of imagination, innovation. It's this
Yes.
project that they're given to.
Definitely a lot of imagine putting a student, a fourth grader with the lens of an engineer, with the lens of a scientist, with the lens of a songwriter, or even a mathematician,
Wow.
and giving them that space to just experiment and play around with while they learn an enrichment course or while they just get credit.
So for me, who, I'm an engineer, I don't think I'll be an engineer. What is the other one? Scientist?
Yeah. Well, we're doing some fun
I
stuff.
can't be a musician either, right?
You can if you try, right? It's a musician.
I'm actually, in a certain location in the house, I'm actually the best musician
Hey,
to
wow.
the audience.
The shower is
No one-
a dormitory.
Right.
Well, in middle school, we have a similar approach. There's academic credit recovery and there's enrichment program. But some fun stuff, right, is like for learning numbers, it's like the Tower of Pasta, where you learn and you create and you build stuff. Using with food. There's even a cha-cha we have cooking up numbers with delicious precision. And so that's going to be a
I
fun
love
way
that.
for
So
them to.
cooking, but then you learn the aspects of being precise.
Yes, the mathematic measurements and times.
I think that kind of engineer I could be.
Hey, right on, you're the number one. We also have wood shop as well. So even as young as middle school, students are already interested in careers.
And they do, and they're given projects.
Yes, project-based learning at
I would have loved to have done that. Wood shop.
I know this is such a fantastic time to
And
be
you
a
coming home and
student.
say, Mom, I'm gonna refurbish your cabinetry.
I mean, that's just how I feel like that's where I wanted to be.
Oh, yeah, and in high school it gets a lot more in depth. There's connecting math with sports going on in Cagman, and so imagine something that makes people feel intimidated.
I told you academics is always gonna be fun too. Academics can be fun.
Oh man, that's a great.
And it's good. See how we have our educators taking the actual subject, right? The academic side of it, the academia, and really making sure that's our core enterprise.
Right.
Academics, but then making it fun by adding some additives to it, right? No pun intended on
Some
the word
spices.
additives. Some spices to it, and then it makes learning fun.
Absolutely.
That's
engaging.
important. That's what I want all of our students across PSS to have, is just to enjoy their time in our district being students.
Oh
Like you
man.
enjoyed yourself.
Absolutely. I'm still a student. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm learning from you guys even today.
I do have a question. Are we going to see the giant whale come up this summer? Our blow-up whale?
We did get an ask from one government agency for the whale, for Nenny. Nenny's the name of this huge 30-foot blow-up
It's
whale.
a whale, but then it's called Nelly. It's baby.
It is the biggest oxymoron in the
the
district. But it's this fun blow-up whale that students can enter and explore the dimensions of a whale, just comparing themselves
Oh,
to
that's what
that
it's
life like.
Yeah, like for our future marine biologists or zoologists out there, right?
Yes, and for high school, that's the tone. I mean, we have some really great summer school programs that are enrichment based for high school under CTE There's a teacher academy, a nursing academy, a merchant marine program, an IT program. There's hospitality and tourism that's being worked in with co-op. And there's entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about this is now we're working with community as well, like Chamber of Commerce is kind of working with us on career exploration, right? For that entrepreneurship, maybe, and some internship opportunities out there. It's great.
That's
Great when we involve our community and then have them engaged in the learning process. They should be part of
Yes.
the teaching and learning that we offer here at PSS.
Yeah, and a lot of these community members have, generously taken their time to become the instructors of these programs for the summer. We couldn't thank them enough, even in
so thank you.
instruction.
Thank you out there for really helping us. It's great, and it kind of bridges the gap, right? And our teachers, they teach throughout the school year. There's sometimes teaching in the summer, but for those that have gone away to do whatever great, wonderful things in the summer, we have industry partners stepping up and actually, getting and generating momentum on these programs. So thanks for that rundown on the many great, wonderful things that are happening.
Yes, you're absolutely welcome, Commissioner. And if anybody out there has a question with any of the summer programs that we have this summer, we'd be happy to answer them and give them more information.
But it doesn't end there, because I know we have a lot of other great, wonderful things coming out of ITDE.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So Kevin's going to give us a rundown on that.
Yeah, for the rundown, if you do have any questions that you'd like to share with us in the chat, feel free to do so. We do have our wonderful, media team here. They'll be happy to let us know that you have a question. Maybe the commissioner, Mr. Vinny, or myself can give you some answers for anything that we've been talking about, or some questions that you may have in general. And then another point, we were talking about the Strategic Planning Institute last week, and I think one of the bigger topics that we had about the Strategic Planning Institute, and something that's really impressed me for the plan of action, is we had talked about the need to make that big engagement with our community, with our students, local, our business networks, all the people in the CNMI. And a week later, here we are with a live show. I know this has been in plans for months, and just speaking to what we were talking about last week, and then coming here is really impressive. I like the call to action. I do like the fact that we're really saying we're gonna do what we're gonna do. A lot of great talks last week, but the action is really impressive. So I really like that.
Yeah, before you go on, I just want to say that you're absolutely right. You make a great point there. If we say that we genuinely want to be out there in the community and engaging the community in our environment as well, in PSS, we mean it, and this is a great way to do it. Great way to do it, right? So thanks for reminding all of us.
I mean, keep up with us, we'll be keeping up with you guys as well. So look around for more of these talks to come up. The commissioner has some great ideas along with our media team. And I think the future shows are gonna have a lot of fun to it. This is just the inaugural show, so it can only go up from here. But
it's fun being here, right?
Fun, yeah. Especially, creating a nice little build up for the next show. But we do have some stuff happening out of the Office of Instructional Technology and Distance Education program. So we have our student portal, our summer online learning opportunity sessions, where we have students in the high school taking classes to fulfill some credit requirements, maybe if they wanted to catch up or graduate
so
early.
Really an opportunity, right, for the self-starters to. And you said there's this portal, huh?
Yeah, student portal. So our high school students have the opportunity to take additional classes throughout the year, not just summer, but also fall and spring. Look out for our fall semester coming up. If you're a student in high school, please speak with your counselor when the registration rolls around and see what classes are available for you. We really like the ability for our students to speak with their counselors to do the academic planning, so that they know what's coming ahead and what classes they can take care of while they're on ground and while they're online. So this can help them do some recovery, or even to get ahead and graduate early. I plan on working with the schools to kind of get our early graduate numbers and see how much they've risen in the past years. But we offer a lot of fun classes. Education, academia is always fun, but we run the full gamut of ELA, math, science and social studies classes, and a couple of CTE classes as well. One of the newer classes that came out this year for us is Intro to Computer Programming. So students get the opportunity to learn how to code, work, do some computer programming work, give them that insight on being a computer engineer. as well as introduction to coding in web design. So if students are interested in doing a little bit of coding to build websites, that's a really big thing in the industry, right? Being able
Yeah,
to do all
thank you
that
for
too.
keeping up, keeping our students aligned with that.
It's really thanks to our amazing, highly performing personnel, and they're absolute professionals in what they do, and they really take the time to want to enrich our students'
That's our
lives.
way of adapting, traditional curriculum to the technological advancement, right? That's very important because we have to keep up with that. And the students that we have in our system are digital natives.
Yeah, they are truly.
Are you a digital native?
I would say like I'm half.
Were you born after 1997?
I was born in 1983.
So you're a digital immigrant just as I am. The Generation Zers, right, the ones that were born after 1997 are the digital natives. 'Cause
Wow.
that's when internet started. It's really, that's where the generational change began. Was around that time frame when internet was introduced to the world, and those folks that were born after that were really, then they became the natives because that's really the first thing they see, right?
Yeah, that's where they grew up knowing
We
technology.
have to
excited.
kind of adapt to that. So. But anyway, going back to, and that's great to know that for our community to know that we have, again, the traditional way of learning, but then we have the enhancement type opportunity through technology.
And actually, the opportunity is not just for our high school, PSS high school students. It's also available for our private school students. So, students, if you are interested, speak to your administrators, see what happens in the fall. This happens, like I said, in fall, spring, and summer.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
with
we're all of our students, right? All of our
I'm kidding.
students. Yeah, and again, thanks for our absolute professionals for being able to assist our students and giving them that attention and care.
Sure.
But as we speak to our professionals, we also have the professional portal, and
Also, we have student portal and then we have professional.
yes, so lifelong learners, right?
I need a
Any-
portal.
Hey, Commissioner, you could be a part of this board.
Absolutely could if you wanted to.
Vortex.
Yeah, so lifelong learning, and you learn something every day, and learning never stops, and that goes for our professionals as well. So these courses are designed for individuals who want to continue on their educational journey to gain and finish their certification courses so that they can advance in certification levels here with our BOE certification, right? Afterwards, there's a lot of enrichment classes too. So we'll be just talking about learning in the online learning environment. We have a course for being present on the online course, building an online course, and how to be a teacher, how to educate in an online space.
Wow,
Hey.
so that's arming our teachers to be, again, successful, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
when pedagogy changes, when technology changes, they're right then and there, we are right then and there to assist them and enable them so that they can be better educators of our students. So that's the students benefit in the end, right?
And then, yeah, definitely. And then, speaking to that, we run the whole gamut as well. We have a lot of special education courses that's not just available to special education teachers, but those teachers that want to know more about, things going on in the world of special education, current issues in special education, or introduction to individualized education plans. We run classroom management, things like that, and all these courses, whether or not it's required for certification or you're taking it for enrichment, we feel like definitely helps you see what's out there, arm you more professionally, and gives you something to bring back to the classroom.
I just want to say that is huge because, again, a lot of our folks out there, I'm sure, they're just for the first time hearing these type of things. And this is the reason why we have this live shows, to keep folks informed, right?
Wow.
Like, hey, what's going on at PSS? We do thousands of many activities.
We do,
Thousands
yeah.
of things are going on across our school district. It's a pretty good sized school district. 20 schools, 3 islands, 9,000 up to 10,000 students. We have 1,000 of our schools, 1,000 plus of our students in special ed, and we have 10 Head Start centers too. In addition to all that, I mean, it is a big organization, and the community out there is like, here's PSS, they're doing their thing, kids are going to school, they're coming out of school, they're graduating and all that, but there's a lot in between that's happening. And really the intent behind this type of show is to articulate a lot of that, right? And we're not gonna ever inform everything about everything,
Right.
but we at least provide some of the highlights.
So, I mean, the show's also recorded, so, probably let some folks that may have missed it know if you're interested in checking back the show and maybe future shows. They will be recorded and put onto our social media stuff.
If I can add on the topic of professional development for teachers, this summer we also have a lot of CCLHS teachers coming together.
What's CCLHS? Like,
Oh.
really need to know what that is.
Man, CCLHS is Chamorro and Carolinian language and heritage studies. So these group of amazing individuals are getting together and coming up with their own resources to make it place-based, to make it relevant. They're building the competencies for their students so that next school year they're ready to go. But on top of that, we also have hundreds of teachers who've signed up for certification courses on the science of math and the science of reading.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to the.
And you know what we did with that was we sent a handful of teachers to be trained to come back and train
Wow,
the many other
okay.
teachers.
Yeah.
We got the, so we invested in that, right? We sent a lot of folks, well, 2 groups for the science of math and science of reading just last month. Sent them to Guam. They were trained on how to then come back to the islands and actually train our core, our teacher core.
I think it's a great way to ensure that the educator is always there too, right?
Yeah.
Keeping not just our students in mind.
Yeah,
but
the thought about that when I added educators always to the students first mantra is simply this. If you say students are first, what happens? How could students be first? And that's, you have to have good educators, right?
Right.
And so we always have to be mindful of making sure that our educators are taken care of so that students can be first.
I like that. And we're living it. We're practicing it.
You're practicing. You gotta be practicing.
Yes.
But it is, that right here, this is the student's first edition, for
Oh,
example.
nice.
In fact, today's Mariana's Variety has the insert with the graduation pictures and just a collage of photos that come out of our many graduates. We had promotions, 7 promotions from middle school to high school ceremonies, and we had 6 graduations. We have 6 high schools, so 6 high school graduates. But a lot of the photos, a lot of stories are in that, so they were today's. But I wanted to highlight that students first, and just students first. Now we added educators.
Hey, educators always.
Because that's who we are here at PSS. We're all about students, and we're all about taking care of our educators as well.
And we're also all about building capacity.
And speaking of building capacity,
yes.
don't you have other programs out there?
Yeah, so currently for the summer, we are looking to build our capacity on the administrative and leadership side of our professional development. So we have a program called the Aspiring Leaders Program. It is a 2-year cohort where we have individuals, it could be teachers, it could be that want to understand the role of leaderships in schools in both the district as well. So they go through courses like school finance, or like education finance. They do school law, and they understand the intricacies of that. They do they do a course on HR as well, so they understand what they need to be filling into their schools, into their roles as leaders. And they cap off every year with an internship. The first year they do an internship at the school level, learning what the administrators do, principals, vice principals, and their planning, which is great because a lot of planning comes around in the summertime, so it's nice for them to get that. But this year, their second year, they are up here at the district, shadowing our our leaders here in the district, program managers, directors for our many PSS programs, and there's one here. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Are you talking about? There's this intern that showed up on Monday, and I've always wondered what the heck is this guy? Who is he? What is he doing? And so now you just started leaders program. You tried to describe that to me, but I had all I did was make him shadow me and follow me around all throughout
lucky guy.
the week here. Do you think he was lucky?
Yeah,
That's awesome. An opportunity to see how things work from the top going down, right? Decisions.
Perspective.
And he said internship. I said, coffee making.
Uh,
But that's not
Xeroxing.
But hey, can we get him on the
Absolutely,
camera?
absolutely. Please,
In front of the camera.
please come on over.
There he
Go ahead
is.
and introduce yourself, man.
Commissioner's intern.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you again for having me. Yes, our cohorts just wrapped up our 8th course in facilitative leadership with Dr. Pagninan, and to culminate this experience, I'm here with Commissioner of Education. And
Tell them who you are.
oh yeah, my name is Jay Munya, and I
There you
teach
go.
4th grade at WSR Elementary School.
Yay, Kingfisher.
Yeah, there you go.
And again, it's been a privilege. The second internship, my first one was with Mr. Alkin in MHS. The second one here with Commissioner Camacho. Just getting a little glimpse of what the leadership is, working with the school leaders, others, community members, and other stakeholders. Some of the things that we were able to do, I was able to sit in some important meetings with the island leaders.
Wow.
Visit Saipan Southern High School campus because the IRT wellness mission was offering free health services for our community. So I thought that was really wonderful. And many other leadership type meetings that I was able to attend. And so perhaps my biggest takeaway is that I should know my roots and build relationships. So thank you again, Commissioner, for this opportunity.
Yeah, there's some things that happen down in the schools and you wonder what's going on up on the hill, right? Okay, thank you.
Little
Thank you for
insight.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to share out of ITD?
I'd just like to also share that these are great ways to build our capacity. And our previous cohorts have found themselves in leadership positions now within PSS, and this is a true testimony of building capacity, knowing our leaders and having them take over the next generation.
Yeah, so we're developing professionals out of our students, but the ones that are doing the same, I'm doing that work, we're also developing their professionalization and making sure that they're, the quality educators that we want to be. It is one of our priorities.
Right.
If ever the need, the call for him to come up to lead comes up, we know that we have definitely qualified individuals here, so not only is this course, so after they complete the courses and have the internship, this goes directly into the BOE certification for school administrators.
Yeah,
So it's a certification coming out of it. Once
and it
they do
becomes
this
a
stuff.
pool, like,
Yeah,
or a
absolutely.
core that we can pull out of, right? And pull from, in order to fulfill some of the needs that we have when it comes to administration.
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, sir.
administration, so.
Yeah, and then more coming out of our office. So upcoming things.
You have more
for us.
coming out of your office.
Oh my
gosh.
it's a busy
Thank
time.
you, thank you.
Education never ends. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and these are just some online
So
professional
education
development
is
options.
fun, it never ends.
It's
Yeah.
not boring.
Whatever.
It's not boring. Yeah. So we have our Nearpod Summer Institute. Nearpod.
That sounds so generational Z type
Uh,
terminology, the Nearpod.
Nearpod. It's a district tool. So all the schools have access to this online educational technology tool, and it's a great way for them to build that engagement in their classrooms. There's sessions on creating and learning with Nearpod that allows teachers to bring their own original content into the platform and then have students learn it from that way. And we have sessions for ELA, for math, all encompassing.
ELA, can you tell the audience? what-
Sorry, English language arts
Okay,
and
okay,
math.
math.
Yes.
They know math.
They know math. Mathematics. We're gonna go deep into it.
Arithmetic.
And just the chance to explore the vast library of content that they have, which spans through all subjects and do all standards, Common Core standards and things like that. So, pick and choose what you want, and then you can even have that little level of differentiation if you need to. And then lastly, coming out for the summer is it'll be our third 21st Century Educational Virtual Conference. And we have our special presenter, Mr. Matt Miller. This will be our third year working with Mr. Matt Miller. He does these amazing virtual conferences with our educators here at CNMI. And we have talked about a lot of things coming out of the online space coming out of COVID. We had talked about the introduction to artificial intelligence in our classrooms last year.
Yeah.
This year, we're talking more about the overall health of a teacher and responsible use of that artificial intelligence and other artificial intelligent topics, because it's going to be really prevalent in the classrooms, and we kind of want to be arming our educators with how to understand what artificial intelligence is and what we can do to not only strengthen our education, but like what signs do we see from our students?
It's here now, so we have to make sure we're ready for it, right?
Oh, we are, and we are.
Prepared for this.
So that conference, that virtual conference, is slated for August 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And if you haven't signed up, we can do the rebroadcast for the flyers. The flyers are around, and we would be excited to see Matt Miller and another guest come in and speak to us.
Great, okay. Well, as we wrap up the show here, it's been a great session though, by the way.
Yes.
I enjoy my time talking to you, learning more about these things that are happening in our school district. I kind of know about them. I just want to make sure that our community knows more about them and learn a lot about these great, wonderful things that are happening, right? So, but future segments of this live show, I want to feature sometimes students to come here and sit here and talk about their journey, their experiences. Maybe there'll be times when the community will be invited to talk, right, about what they're seeing out there with our students and the educational world here that we provide at PSS, and then maybe with industry partners coming here.
And Commissioner, can I just add one more, thanks. I know we have amazing things in the summer, right, that are going on, but honestly, none of it would be possible, without the support of educators such as yourself, but also from the hard work of all the teachers who have volunteered to take their time out of their summer, because even teachers need their summer breaks too, but so many of them have volunteered to give that support, for whether it be for academic recovery or for enrichment, to all of our students.
I fully support that. Thank you for that. Thank you to the teachers. And look, we started the school year strong. This past school year, we finished stronger. And here we are in the summer. We still have a lot of things and a lot of work to do with our kids and our students, right? And they're thriving, and we're thriving together as a community. And it's just great. And we always, as you mentioned, we always have to be very thankful of the people that actually work behind the scenes, that are actually in the classroom space, providing that quality education, that are out in the field, really just making sure that our students are thriving. And that, for me, is a very important thing. And so I'm really grateful for the team we have. We have over 1,000 employees in PSS.
Wow.
And serving 9,000 students, it's a great 20 schools, 10 centers for Head Start and pre-Head Start, or early Head Start, 3 islands. It's just an amazing place to be.
It is.
Right? So I'm really grateful to be here. I'm happy to be in this role as Commissioner of Education. So, as we wrap up, we just kind of want to make sure we're sentimentally there, right? And we have to be there. We're happy. And I think across PSS, from what I've seen and heard and kind of listened to, there's been great, wonderful things happening, but at the same time, our folks enjoy teaching, being the educators that they need to be. And then also, our students are happy.
They are.
In our schools. And we're going to keep them safe. We're going to make sure we're safe. We talk about safety as well. But the great, wonderful team that we have in central office, thank you all, from our key management all the way through the various staff level positions that we have in central office up on the hill, and then through especially the ones that are out in the grind, right?
I know.
Actually doing it, making it happen in the school campuses, in the classroom, on the playground, in the playing fields, all across PSS. It's been wonderful. So we'll wrap up this show and see where we go from here.
Well, we want to let everybody know to stay connected.
Stay informed.
And come keep up with PSS.
Thank you all.
Thanks. All right. I thought that one